Welcome to Zouk at Home. I wish I were seeing you guys in person under much better circumstances. Chad is going to be my isolation partner, which I'm really grateful for. We're still maintaining our social distancing, and so I hope everybody is being safe and well. And my heart goes out to everybody who is going through what we're going through, especially after all these tornadoes. We certainly have been going through a lot lately. So I posted some videos in the Nashville Zouk Nouveau, our event, Zouk from Home series, of going over the basic footwork for lead follow, and Chad and I did some partner Wi-Fi work to maintain safety so we can dance and move. It just might look and feel a bit different right now. And with that said, I think that dance is more than just our footwork and movement. It's about who we bring to the dance floor, how we connect to ourselves, how we connect to the floor, the breath, movement. And so today, we're going to do some mindfulness because a lot of us sure need it. I know that I need it. Chad, I'm not sure.
I can definitely use it.
Yeah, and so I've been teaching this workshop by myself and with Shelby and some other partners at different congresses and events. And we're going to modify it and just really focus on the meditational portion of it. And some might wonder, how does this relate to Zouk and what we do? And I think I'd like to go into that briefly now and then maybe a bit later. I think that Zouk is, a style of dance, and I would say every style of dance, but particularly Zouk, where we need a lot of awareness of the tone that's in our body. And the tone is not just impacted by how our muscles feel or whether or not we have been working out too much and we're carrying a lot of tone or engagement in certain muscles. Tone is really impacted as well by our emotions. And so as you're dancing, maybe at home with yourself or with your isolation buddy, this idea of being aware of just more than the motion, just the energy that we're carrying in the body. So mindfulness can really help us understand our proprioception and our kinesthetic awareness about our body in space and our tone and how we move, and that's really important. Mindfulness can also bring us more focus and connection to our breath, which is really fundamental to Zouk, and initiating movement, leading movement, relaxing through movement, and so breath work can be really fostered with mindfulness. It can also really help us understand what's going along energy-wise and emotionally-wise in our body. A lot of us have really had some rough weeks, and so I think it might be nice to carve out some space just to connect with ourselves before we attempt to dance with ourselves or dance with a partner or whatever it looks like in your home right now. Also, mindfulness can do a great job in boosting immunity, so I think it's great that we carve out space to decompress that nervous system, innervate that relaxation response, that parasympathetic response that's counter to that flight or fight system that's telling us there's something dangerous or something bad's going to happen. We need to have some tools to just soothe that nervous system and bring ourselves down, and so mindfulness is a great way to do that as well. And so we'll kind of talk about how this applies a little bit more once we kind of go through this process. I'm going to guide Chad in a guided mindfulness meditation. And Chad, the only thing that I really want to invite you to do is that there's no right way or wrong way to do mindfulness meditation. So mindfulness really is present moment-to-moment awareness, without judgment about what's going on in the moment, without attachment to what the moment should look like. So I have cats here, they may meow, so trying not to say, oh, I can only be mindful if it's perfectly quiet, So there's this radical acceptance of whatever's going on in the moment, compassion to what you're experiencing, and curiosity that we're going to bring to maybe our breath or sensations, different areas of focus. And so it's really normal, especially when we're going through stressors like a pandemic. That's such a weird thing to say, but we're going through stressors, to have our mind constantly pull us away from what we're doing, whether the focus is the anchor on the breath or a heartbeat. Your brain may pull you, your thoughts may pull you to thinking about, maybe I need to go to the store, or I should be doing something different. But I'm sure our brain has been doing that a lot for the last 2 weeks, so let's give ourselves about 15 to 20 minutes to just be with ourselves and soothe that nervous system. So if your mind shifts to, I've got things to do, laundry to do, going shopping, just try to have some compassion and gently remind yourself to bring the focus back to your breath, or my voice, or some sort of focus throughout the session. And it doesn't matter how many times you have to do this throughout the session. That's mindfulness, and it's a practice because it takes some focus, and there's this balance, just like in Zouk, between effortfulness and relaxation. So kind of gently refocusing our attention on what we're dropping into, because sometimes we can start applying like a hard, heavy hand of, oh, I need to focus, and redirecting ourselves a little bit heavier. Do you have questions for me, Chad?
Not right now.
Awesome. So Chad, I'd like to invite you to lay down in Shavasana with your head on the pillow. For grounding, if you would like, you could put your palms toward the earth. If you would like to be in a more receptive mode, you can put your palms toward the sky. All right. Again, just to invite you to give yourself this 20 minutes to just be with yourself and just drop into your body. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, Chad. And just start really dropping inward, letting your body get heavy. And I want you to start really focusing on how you're breathing right now in this moment. Again, not applying any sort of judgment to how you're breathing or changing it. Just notice with curiosity what your body is doing, how it's pulling in air and exhaling air. Maybe notice what parts of your chest and belly are rising and falling. Maybe bring your awareness to the tip of your nose, noticing if the air is cooler upon the inhale than the exhale. Just with curiosity, just notice the natural rhythm of your breath at this time. And if your mind wanders, that's all right. Just observe the thought like a cloud floating across the sky. No reason to attach any meaning to it. Just bring yourself gently back to your breath. It really doesn't matter how often you need to gently redirect yourself to your breath or my voice. It's part of the practice and normal. And I'd like to invite you to deepen your breath, pulling the air in through your nose, if possible, if it's not stuffy, down, massaging the spine into your belly, and then exhaling, letting your belly fall toward the spine, moving back up through the spine and out your nose. Again, pulling in air in through the nose, all the way along to the lower back into the belly, and exhaling slowly, letting your belly button fall toward the spine. And as we're doing this, I want to invite you to deepen this inhale, where we're going to fill the belly up like a balloon. The belly button moves away from the spine. And then you exhale, slowly letting out all the oxygen or carbon dioxide from your body as your belly button floats toward your back. With each inhale, see if you can inhale compassion for yourself for what you've been going through. And see if you can exhale any muscle tension or things that are not serving you in this moment. Pulling in compassion for this week that you've had. Giving yourself this space. And then exhaling things that are not serving you right now, allowing your lower back to sink further into the ground. Maybe letting go another group of muscles, trying to allow your body to be fully supported by the floor, that's supported by the earth. Again, breathing in, filling up that belly, and then slowly exhaling, letting the belly button sink toward the spine and allowing your body to let go a bit more. This time I'd like to invite you to breathe into the belly until you think you can't sip any more into the belly. Take another sip of air and hold. Feel that stretch, and then exhale. Letting something else go. Nice. We're going to breathe in till you feel like you can't fill any more space in that belly. We're going to take another sip of air and hold, feeling that stretch across the diaphragm, and then slowly exhale. We're making more and more room in the body. A few more times breathing in. Taking another sip of air and holding. And then slowly exhaling all that carbon dioxide, the stuff that you don't need. Let's do this one more time. Breathing in gently. Keep sipping air. When you feel like you can't sip anymore, we're going to take in another sip of air, hold, and then slowly exhale. Again, if your mind wanders, that's all right. Just gently bring yourself back to your breath. I'd like to invite you to switch the pattern of your breathing. This time I'd like to invite you to fill up the belly, but keep sipping air, bringing it to your chest, up higher around your heart space, into your throat space, and then exhaling the same way, allowing the air to move away from your throat, your chest to fall, the diaphragm to fall, and the belly button to move into the spine. Again, breathing in. Keep sipping air up into the chest, into the heart space, into the throat space, and then exhaling the same way. And the belly button falls toward the spine. Breathing in, bringing air into the belly, moving it up in through the chest, through the heart space, through the throat space, and then exhaling. One more time on your own. And when you're done with this last exhalation, I'd like to invite you to allow your breath to return to its natural ebb and flow. So, without any effort, just allow yourself to breathe, to pull in air and push out air as it naturally wants to, trusting your body to take in the air it needs. You may notice that your breath is fainter than it was when you first started. So just with curiosity and non-judgment, allow your breath to be smooth, deep, or short, or choppy. However your breath is okay. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. Again, if you find your mind getting distracted or attached to judgment, see if you can just observe how your body naturally wants to breathe for you in this moment. Maybe observe if your belly is rising or falling in different ways than it was when you first started. And if it serves you, I want you to imagine as you're breathing in, wave, like a gentle wave runs onto shore and runs up your legs, warm, the perfect temperature that you envision. And then as you exhale, the water gets pulled into the ocean. Just feeling this natural ebb and flow rhythm of this warm water over your feet and ankles as you breathe in, maybe hearing that oceanic sound roll over you, up through the heels, and then the water gets pulled into the ocean, washing away stuff that's no longer serving you. Just letting it go, giving yourself space to just be here. Everything can wait. Again, if your mind wanders, that's completely natural. With compassion, just gently bring yourself back to just being with your breath. And if it serves you to do some guided imagery, I'd like to invite you to imagine as you're laying on this beautiful beach that you're looking up in the sky. It's bright and blue, perfect breeze. Maybe the ocean's not your thing. Maybe think of a forest, whatever serves you, favorite place. And imagine the sun starting to part through the clouds. And as it parts through the clouds and you feel the sun ray on your body, allow those sun rays to penetrate those muscles and see if we can find some relaxation and ease in those muscles. So imagine the rays hitting the top part of your scalp. If the warmth feels good for you, imagine that warmth on the top of your scalp, your forehead, and see if you can let the muscles go around your forehead, unfurl the brow, and the clouds part further, and the sun is kissing your cheeks and the muscles around your mouth. See if you can let this lower part of your face just melt, letting go further and further. Just observe if there's any tension there. Maybe you notice your tongue on the roof of your mouth. See with the next exhale if you can let the tongue fall and the lower part of your face just relax. Maybe your lips slightly part as you let your throat be soft, finding more and more relaxation in the face. And if you observe any tension that doesn't want to release, we observe it with curiosity and non-judgment, just allowing your body to be where it is. It's perfectly okay, but seeing if we can find some softness. And the clouds part further and the sun now touches the collarbones and the shoulders, the traps. If it feels good for you, imagining that warmth along the collarbones and the traps Our shoulders and our necks do so much for us throughout the day. See if we can let the shoulders fall away from our ears. See if we can sink further and further into the floor that's supported by the earth, letting go deeper and deeper. And if your mind gets distracted, try to remind yourself of the details of this beautiful experience, or anchor yourself to your breath or my voice. Just give yourself a gentle redirection. And the clouds part further and the sun rays hit your chest, around your heart space. Maybe the warmth feels good around your heart. Just breathing in that sunshine. Then exhaling any tension that's around your heart, letting the top part of your spine melt into the mat. And the sun hits your belly, maybe even penetrates all the way into your spine. Notice if you're holding any tension in your diaphragm. You may have been holding your breath a lot this week. And see if you can let that tension go with the next breath. There's no effort needed. Just surrendering to this practice, creating space for you to just be with you. You and your breath. And the clouds part further, and now the whole part of your upper body is covered in delicious sun rays. Your hips, your belly, your arms, your fingertips, your biceps and shoulders, your face. Just scan that part of your body and notice if there's any tension and see if you can let something else go. If your mind wanders, gets distracted by sounds or to-dos or any thoughts, just observe the thought like a cloud floating across the sky. And then bring yourself back to this practice. And the clouds part further and you feel the sun on your legs. Maybe deep all the way into those hamstrings, and just notice if there's some tension there. Maybe your legs roll away from each other further as you allow the thighs and the hamstrings to just relax. And then the sun is on the knees and the shins. Almost clouds fully parted into the ankles, all the little ligaments there. If it serves you, thinking about the warmth penetrating all those little bones into the feet, the phalanges, all the way into the toes, just being fully embraced by sun rays right now on your picturesque day. And just scanning back up from your toes all the way to the top of your head, and noticing if you're holding on to any tension and seeing if you can let something else go. And invite you to now combine the first part with the second part, where you're imagining as you breathe in this ebb and flow of the ocean up through your feet into your heart space. And then exhaling, the waves lapping onto shore. Gently reminding yourself of the details of your picturesque day. Knowing you can come back to this space at any time. You can always come back to your breath. You can always come back to this space. And I'd like to invite you to offer yourself some warm wishes for well-being as we've really dropped into ourselves. And with curiosity, just notice how these warm wishes of well-being land. May I be at peace. Maybe noticing what that feels like in your body without judgment. Maybe you feel a physiological response. May I be at ease. May I be free from suffering. May I be free. May I be safe. May my heart be open to myself fully. May my heart be open to others fully. And just observe what it's like to offer yourself these warm wishes for well-being without judgment. And if this is difficult for you, you can always go back to your breath. And then I'd like to invite you to offer these warm wishes to somebody you love deeply, or somebody who brings you joy. It can be an animal, it could be somebody in the past, somebody you find easy to offer warm wishes of well-being. May you be at peace. May you be at ease. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe. May your heart be open to yourself fully. May your heart be open to others fully. And just notice how that lands in your body. The same curiosity and compassion you did for yourself. Just gently observing how it's like to offer warm wishes for well-being to somebody else. And we'll wrap this practice up, extending it to a community, whether it's your dance family, the global community, maybe it includes animals, whatever you want to include, but opening these warm wishes to everybody in your community of choice. May you be safe. May you be at peace. May you be at ease. May you be free from suffering. May your heart be fully open to yourself. May your heart fully be open to others. And notice what it feels like to offer warm wishes to your community. What that feels like in your heart. Maybe there's some physical sensations of warmth or even tightness. Just observe what it feels like without any judgment, just allowing these sensations to be, not needing to do anything with it, just bringing breath to any tension, or bringing breath to create more space for that feeling of warmth, if that's there, to be there fully. You can come back to this heart space anytime you'd like. And when I count back from 10 down to 1, I'd like to invite some gentle movement back into the body so we can slowly come back into this room. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, rock the ankles, rock the wrist, shake your head no, giving your skull a nice massage, shake your head yes. I'd like to invite you to roll over on a side that's comfortable for you. And spend time in this transition, honoring yourself for creating so much space to just be with you, taking this time to really thank yourself for this practice. And when you're ready, come up in an easy way that's good for your body to a seated position. How are you feeling?
A lot better.
Okay. Is it okay if I ask you questions about the practice?
Oh, that's fine.
Any observations you feel comfortable sharing?
It just helps me feel a lot more relaxed. There's a lot of things on my head, and there's still some distractions, but I'm going to focus more on things around me and what's in my body, not everything in the rest of the world. And that helps me just not be so stressed out or focused on other things.
How do your muscles feel?
They're not nearly as tense.
I'm glad to hear that. And any observations you care to share about the warm wishes toward yourself, others in the community, specifically. If you want to share, if any of them were more easy or difficult.
There's just certain people I know of who are going through a lot, and I thought about them and just kind of wish some compassion in them, and hoping that they're able to get through this.
That's nice. So how does this relate to dance? Oftentimes we come to the dance floor and we haven't done our work to ground with ourselves. And I'll admit firsthand that sometimes I have a lot of chatter about a relationship struggle or some work stuff that's keeping my concentration somewhere where it's not needed at the moment. Sometimes chatter that is concerning judgment toward myself. Maybe how I'm moving or not moving, what I look like, sometimes judgment about a song, or the chatter can be endless. And part of mindfulness meditation, and why so many dance instructors are using different meditational practices to help people become better dancers, better follows, better leads. That's a very very basic construct, but better dancers, because we need to be able to observe where our concentration is. Have you ever, for me, I'll share that sometimes when I'm not doing this work and I show up to the dance floor, there's a lot of chatter, and that interferes with me connecting with my partner. And so being able to observe where our thoughts are going and how to bring ourselves back to the breath, that's really important for whether it's zouk or sensual bachata or whatever it is that you dance, because we really just need to show up for ourselves first, connect with the floor and our breath and the music and our partner, and we can't have our mind on I wonder what this person is thinking about my dance, or I want to dance with this person next. Like trying to allow our brain to shift normally, but just observe it and be able to have these skills to bring ourselves back to paying attention to ourselves, whether we're dancing with ourselves or our partner. I think that this can also help us be aware of the tone that we're carrying in our bodies. Sometimes I have too much tension in my body, especially after my shoulder replacement, and just being able to have this awareness of where my body's at and how to release some of that tension. Sometimes it's an emotional thing. I had a breakup, something went wrong at work, and my heart's in a funky space, and it's really hard for me to focus on myself, connecting with myself or my partner if I haven't done that heart work yet. So doing some of these loving kindness meditations can really help before arriving to the floor for ourselves or for our partner. I think that doing some of this work to ground ourselves, to know where is our breath at, where is our body at, where is our energy at, where is our mind at, are we focused, and how do we develop this increased concentration? Because the more and more I have the honor of working with people, whether I'm helping a follow or a lead in their work, the more and more I realize how much chatter is holding people back. This constant narrative of judgment that's just percolating, and people are attaching so much meaning to, and don't know how to kind of let go of that and bring themselves back to being in their body and allowing their wisdom of the body to carry them through their dance. Any thoughts about any of that?
It's definitely something in my head as well. I know I have that chatter going on too, and it's made me self-conscious, and so it's good to get out of your head for a while.
All right. Well, I hope that you can take this feeling with you for the rest of the day, isolation partner, and I'll continue to be posting relaxation videos, as well as doing our zouk beginner and intermediate series with Shelby, even though it's from the comfort of her home. It looks different, but I'm I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to still connect with you in this way. So thank you for arriving, and I hope you joined us, and I hope you continue to join us online. Maybe post some videos if you feel called to, of you doing your footwork or you doing some meditation. And stick around for Shelby. Shelby will be reviewing some intermediate stuff that we've been doing. She may even introduce something new. I'll have to check in with her, but thank you so much. The teacher and student in me honor the teacher and student in you. Namaste, guys.